Hi everyone, my name is Chris. I am the Camping Stitcher here on YouTube, and I also have an Instagram, the Camping Stitcher, and an Etsy shop, and a Facebook page, and welcome. This is my channel primarily about cross stitch. You're gonna hear the birds singing outside, you might hear my fan going. There's stuff going on in the house, so excuse the noise, but this is, probably the way it's going to be for a little while. It's hot, so I hope you guys are doing okay and keeping cool. It is Sunday, the 26th of May, and Memorial Day weekend, so I hope you're having a good weekend, and we all keep in mind why we celebrate this weekend. I have a lot to talk about. It's been a little over 3 weeks, I think. Probably my schedule now, as we're going into summer, will be 2 to 3 weeks. If we're traveling, it might be longer, but I'll check in. You can always check my Instagram account. So I have some finishes and fully finishes and haul and plans and ideas and lots of stuff to show you. Some stuff to chit chat with you about. So get something to drink and maybe a little snack to sustain you. It might be a little bit longer than usual. I don't know. I talk too fast, so hope you're doing good. Weather here is hot, and by hot I mean it got over 80 and I don't like it. So I'm not a fan of the hot. Never have been. So hope you're cool and comfortable wherever you are. There will be a camping story, a campfire story at the end. I'll let you know in plenty of time. There's a house wren singing outside right now, so just gonna keep hearing it. Nature's music, right? So what have I been up to? Oh, a whole lot. This is my book of days for May. Let's see. We're up to 9 new starts, 6 finishes, 3 fully finishes. I have a new release that you guys probably saw if you follow me on Instagram or follow my Etsy shop. I have one of the finishes I have is for the monthly mini sale that Jen Kentucky Stitching the Bluegrass and I are doing. It's a Primrose mini sale. I have a small little finish and a really big FFO that I got done, and I have some works in progress to show you. First, let me just get like the administrative thing out of the way. So if you follow me on Instagram, thank you. If you're a subscriber here, thank you. If you are joining my Facebook group, thank you. There have been a lot of new members over there, and I just want to clarify what the group is. It is a group about cross stitch. I am Chris the Camping Stitcher, but the Facebook group is not for camper. Well, let me just rephrase that. It's not a camping focus group. It's a cross stitch focus group. So if you're a camper, yay! I love that, but it's just been lately I've been seeing some, it's a little confusing, I guess, when people are joining and they're wondering what the group is about. It's about cross stitch. So if you're gonna go camping and you're gonna cross stitch, by all means post a picture of you camping cross stitching. But just plain camping photos, there's so many groups out there that you can post that stuff in. So if we can just keep the focus on the group of being about stitching. Also, there are 2 questions and agreeing to the rules to join. So it's not a pick or choose thing. Don't pick one question and answer it and think. If you don't answer both questions and you don't agree to the rules, it's automatically declined. There's a Facebook thing that's set up to decline it. I will decline it if I see it, if you have an answer, because we have gotten spammers in. So the questions are there for a reason. They're simple. It's the first one is, how long have you been cross-stitching? You can put, I mean, forever. You don't have to put a specific year. I just need to know that you read the question and you're going to answer it, and you're not a bot or you're not a spammer. So however you answer that question is fine. Whatever you want to put, but you have to answer it to get into the group. The other question is, how many strands of floss do you prefer to work with? And that is just because I need to know you're a cross stitcher. If you're not a stitcher, you don't know what that question means, and you're not going to answer it in a way that I would know. So that's why that question is there. And then agreeing to the rules. It's not an option. If you don't click that at the bottom, and I'm pretty specific in the questions. I warn you that that's coming. So like I said, been an awful lot of people that have done it. 1, 2, 3, you're in. If you don't, I'll decline it. You could try again. I'm not banning anybody. It's just that you need to read how that works and then follow the directions, and I'll approve it. So I really appreciate you guys helping me keep the group safe and focused on cross stitch. So that's the administrative part of things. Sorry, I just like had to get that out of the way, because there's been a lot of new members lately, and if you don't read what the group's about, you might be a little confused by it. So that's that. So next up is going to be my finishes. I have 3 finishes. No, 2. Yeah, let me count. I could be good at counting. The first one is, this was for my friend Brandy's birthday, which was last week. Happy birthday, Brandy. She picked Mighty Acorns from Blackbird Designs to stitch. I have already stitched that, so I wanted to stitch something in honor of her. And I picked, do I not have the pattern? Of course not, Chris. Anyway, this is called October Feast. It is a Brenda Gervais pattern. I'm guessing it's out of print. It's a tiny little thing. It's like the chart's like this big, but it's a little squirrel. And I did substitute some colors because I didn't have them at the time, but I think they turned out great. I'm gonna finish this off, and then I'll let you know what happens after I finish it. But this is on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. And like I said, I did substitute some of the floss. This here, the stem, I substituted out for a green that I had. There's a little bit of satin stitch on the acorns. And the final thing is going to be adding a little bow around his little neck. But he's adorable. I love him. Isn't that cute? That was the first FFO. The second one, my goodness. You know, I thought I was ready and I didn't bother getting the charts over here, so you're just going to take my word for it. I lied. If I only had a brain. See, it's been too long. I don't even remember how to do stuff. Okay, here is the little October Feast. Not sure how I'm going to finish him, but his little bow yet will be done. And the substitutions I made were, for that one, I substituted Swiss chocolate, weak Swiss chocolate instead of pecan. I substituted Week's carrot instead of daylily. I substituted Week's cinnamon twist instead of nutmeg, and I used Week's Oscar instead of Gentle Arts mustard seed. So I can put those down in the description box if you are interested. Okay, the second finish I have is American Sampler House by Annie B's Folk Art. And I made a couple of conversions on this too. She uses a 32 count dapple by Picture This Plus. I have used 36 count Milky Way by Fox and Rabbit and So because I made that change, I had to substitute her DMC Ecru for whitewash, Weeks whitewash. And I totally eliminated the DMC 3021. And I'll show you where. It's on this flagpole. I used, what did I use? Black coffee. So black coffee, I substituted the wrought iron. I used black coffee instead of wrought iron. It's gassed wrought iron. So black coffee is the roof and the letters and the urn and the flagpole. The rest of it I used the color she called for. So this is my finish. I love it. I think it's going to fit in a 5x7. So I think I'm going to try to find a frame for it and then frame that up. I love how it came out. It is so cute. Her chart was so nice to stitch, so easy to follow. So that was my second FO. You have to see what's in front of me. It's like everywhere. Okay. Sorry if there's stuff going on. I have a busy house now. We have family staying with us for a while, so it's going to be a little bit busier, which is cool. I think I will show you my really big finish, and then I will show you my new release and my other FFO. Oh, you know what? Let me just show you the little FFO because it's so cute. All right, so Jen and I, she is Spunky Jen on Instagram and Stitching in the Bluegrass on Flosstube. We are doing a sale together, and it's the month, oh, I'm going to say it wrong. Primrose Mini Sale. I'll put that hashtag down below. And it's the Primrose Cottage Stitches monthly minis. And this was for May. So cute. So much fun. This was a start and a finish like in a day. We started on Mother's Day. And I think we're going to start the next one anytime in June. I don't know. What did we decide, Jen? I think, you know, I know I am just a loosey-goosey seller. So, but isn't that cute? This is on 36 count paper bark by Fox and Rabbit. And I used the called for DMC. And I just finished it with just a scrap I had, pink, and my little label. That's from Ever Emblem. While we're on it, about my pillows and what I use for stuffing, I use something called Cluster Stuff. It's you can get it, I've gotten it in Hobby Lobby. It's Morning Glory Cluster Stuff. I will list it in the description box below. I've had a couple of questions about things I use and stuff like that. All right. So yes, you can find the stuffing I use in Hobby Lobby, and I like it a lot. It's a little bit more fiddly than just like your regular poly fiber fill, but I find that it gets in the corners really well. And I also, this is just what I do, and I'm not recommending this because I don't want to be responsible for you hurting something that you've stitched. But I will stuff, and they're pretty much like roundy, more round than this. And I hit them with an iron, so they get a little bit flatter and they're not as bowed out. So Cluster Stuff, Morning Glory Cluster Stuff. That's what I use for my stuffing. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now for my big finish. I have the card around here somewhere. Yes, look at me, almost organized, but I don't even remember that I'm organized. Okay, so this is American Sampler, Plum Street. I started this back on March 26, 2023, and I finished the stitching on May 8th, 2024. And then I had it sitting here for a little while because I showed you the finish stitching, and I remembered I had this frame. I picked this frame up, it has to be over a year ago, in Hobby Lobby's clearance section. It was $7.49 for this frame. It came with glass. It's like a picture frame, so it came with glass and the backboard and everything. I just took all that out, and I have my own foam core, so I pinned it and framed it. And I like that it's close. I'm fine with that. I like my stuff close, and I'm super happy with it. I just have to put a picture hanger on the back of it, and it is completely finished and ready to put on my wall. So it took a little fiddling just to make sure I got, I didn't cut off the letters down here, and I had it spaced right here in the top. You could see the flagpole, it meets right there, but I love it. I'm super happy with it. Another nice plum street to put on my walls. So I will be starting another plum street, another big one. I love her sampler, so that'll be happening tomorrow. So that was my big FFO. That is done on 36 count vintage country mocha. I used all the called for threads on that. And so if you're going to do that stitch, I will tell you that I needed 2 skeins of Pelican Gray. I did not use 2 skeins of Pelican Gray, but I used at least 1.5, and I stitched one over 2. And I needed 2 skeins of the endive, which is the grass. So the Pelican Gray, I'll show you, is it's this and the mortar, and what did I say? This section right here, this section of the house right here. And the endive is all the green here. And it's other places too, in the vines and stuff like that, I think. The leaves, maybe. Yes. So, yeah, if you're going to do this, you need more than 1 skein. It's not going to take 2 full skeins, but you're going to need more than 1. And I'm a stitch to the end stitcher. Like, I go as far as I can go, playing thread chicken. So, okay. What else? Oh, yes. Okay, another finish I had. I kind of should have showed this before. I am doing for the building block sale that Missy and Joy are hosting. I am doing the Little House Log Cabin Christmas charts. So I did finish the first one, and I started the second. I don't know how long this is going on for, but, I don't iron anything because I don't like to hit it with steam. But there's the first. It's the log cabin. It's just the log cabin squirrel. Chart number 1. And here is going to be the bunnies, and here is going to be the fox. I am doing it all on one. 36 count. It's going to be all one piece. So I will probably finish the second and third blocks in June. I'm using all the called for threads. Here they are. All janked up. And it lives in my Whippet Keeper. Made by my friend Stephanie, the New England Stitcher. Does beautiful work. Look. Whippet Keeper. Because it's got the owls on it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Lives in there. So pretty. So yeah, got a lot of that going on. So what else we got going on? We have some whips. Yes, things I am working on right now. Okay. That's a new start. Okay, so I don't have, these are, Carolyn Manning is having Manning May. You still have time. So if you go to her design site, you'll see she's put out a ton of new releases. Beautiful, beautiful Beautiful charts. Emma is responsible for this enabling. So I started 2. I'm not saying I only bought 2, but if you go there right now, I think her charts are, these particular ones were $7, and she's having 25% off in May to celebrate 25 years designing. So if you go there, these charts are like $5 and change. They're amazing. And I will try to pop a picture in, but the first one I purchased is called Morning Blooms. So much fun. I'm using Markup RXP, and it's on my iPad, and I'm filming on my iPad, so I can't really show it to you, but I'll insert a picture, or try to insert a picture. But this is where I am right on the Morning Blooms. And then, of course, you know, you buy one, and it's like potato chips, and you just can't have one. And then I had to start another one because she put out another beautiful one that I had to get. And these are all DMC. So, oh, okay, rewind. So I started this on 36 Count Possum by Fox and Rabbit. Now, she has done hers on a very light blue. And wouldn't you know, like the day after I started it, I got my Fabric of the Month from Fox and Rabbit, and they sent this fabric, which is called Antarctica, which has got a slight blue cast to it, and this looks so much better on this. I love it. So I restarted it. I don't care. I'll do it. So then Carolyn put out a couple. She's been putting them out like every, I don't know, she's put out a lot. So go check it out. She's got a lot of new releases. This one is called, oh my God, Where Wildflowers, something bloom. I'll put that down in the description box. You would think I'd be better prepared. And that is my start on that one. It is so pretty. I'll insert the picture too. So pretty. This is done on yellow clay from Fox and Rabbit. And they're all DMC. Here's Morning Blooms, and here's Wildflowers. I wish I would have written down the whole name of it. You would think that would have made sense. Anyway, I blame Emma. Thank you, Emma, for enabling us. They're beautiful. If you're going to be enabled, have yourself be enabled by something that's pretty. All right, so whips. Okay. Do we have more whips? Yes. Okay, another whip I was working on is Plum Street Proverbs 31 sampler. And see my handy dandy whip tracker from the Naptime Stitcher. Totally check her out. This is done on 36 Count Pink Salt Lake by Fox and Rabbit. Favorites. And I have done all the stitching, and I'm now doing the 1/1 saying, Mamma Mia. No, it's not a problem. I just definitely have to use my magnifier. I did change the color of the little house here. Her house is this color here. I changed it. I'm using for the house, I'm using Weeks Red Pear. It didn't, the DMC, the call for color didn't show up on here. So I just switched it out for the red. I'm totally happy with it. Can't wait to finish it. I'll do a little bit of the 1/1 every day. I have to use my magnifier light for that, so it's not a big deal, but I strain my eyes a little bit if I don't just take it slow. So that's that. Okay. All right, what's next? Okay, so just so you know, here's my WhipGo. Somebody asked what WhipGo is. WhipGo is like a bingo board, and it's your board, your rules. It was created by Jessie Marie. Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I will link her in the description box. You can go check out her videos on how it works. You can print out these boards from the Facebook group, which you can join, and you put in what you want to work on, and you could be as specific as you want to be. I pick particular pieces, and sometimes I will pick a general, like on here, one of my squares is just random whip. So this month, the actual center box, number 13 was called, so she just posted the numbers for June. They are 2 and 25. So I already have them marked out. My number 2 right now, unless I change it, is Christmas in the City, and my number 25 is Prairie Life Sampler, and that's for cousin Christy's birthday sale. Okay, so I showed you American Sampler, I showed you the monthly mini, I showed you the log cabin. Now I'm going to show you my new release. This was released about a week ago, and it's in paper and PDF in my Etsy shop. This is Freedom Rings, and it is 95 by 87 stitches. It is stitched on 36 count. You can use it, you can stitch it on any count Aida, any count linen. It is stitched with 5 colors of DMC. Mine was stitched on 36 count light mocha by Zweigart, 1 strand over 2 linen threads. My rickrack is Sizzle by Lady Dot Creates. Whoopsie. And here it is. I am super excited and happy how this came out. It just came together, and I love it. And I hope you love it too. I really appreciate you guys have just really supported my shop, and you've been enthusiastic about my designs, and I really appreciate it. So it stitches up so fast, but and there's my little label. These come from an Etsy shop called Ever Emblem. And I use a micro perm marker to put the date on it, and then it's ironed on, so it's permanent. Here's the rickrack. Just sewed it on. I didn't even glue it on. I just whip stitched over the rickrack, and there she is. So if you'd like to stitch it, it's patriotic season. Head over into my Etsy shop and get the PDF for the paper chart. Super happy with that. Yes, so this week has been weird and wild and just nothing terrible, but so Thursday we had a very nasty storm come through, and we lost power, then we got it back, then we lost power, then we got it back, then we lost power, then we got it back, and then we lost power, and then we got it back, and the power company didn't even know we got it back, which was like freaky. So that was Thursday. Friday, we had another aftershock, but it was a 2.9 aftershock, and we hadn't had one in like about a week, and that woke us up at 10 to 4 in the morning. I don't know why. My husband knew what it was. I just woke up and didn't know why am I waking up. So, and then it just, the storm on Thursday had knocked power out at the supermarkets, and we had roads closed, and here by us, we just had a lot of debris and leaves and stuff down. But if you went a couple miles south of us, there were poles down and trees down, and I think they said maybe straight line winds came through. Some people thought it was a tornado, but we didn't get any confirmation on that at all. So yeah, a lot of storm damage. And then Friday night, we lost internet. Didn't get it back till last night, and we don't know why. It's probably after effects of the storm. We have no idea. But, so this hopefully Flosstube will be uploaded today. No idea how long it'll take. It could take an hour or it could take 84 years. You just don't know. So, okay. One more whip, new start. I wanted to show you. Checking my notes because let me tell you, there's a lot of notes here. Okay, so yesterday I had a new start, and this is from Erin Elizabeth, my friend Erin Elizabeth Designs, the American flag. It is done with 2 colors of dinky dyes. They're beautiful. A red, a Shades of Wine is the red. Is it Shades of Wine? No. Yes. I don't know. It's Midnight is the blue. No. The color name is number 66 Dinky Dyes. And number 336 blue, indigo blue Dinky Dyes. Mamma mia, if I can read, it would be great. Okay, so I started it yesterday, and here's where I am. This blue part right here. It's so much fun to work on. I can't wait to start the red. Too bad I didn't bring the thread over to show it to you because it's really pretty. So that was my new start yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going to have another new start. And then Tuesday, we're starting this for my friend Niecy's birthday when cardinals appear. I have all the threads ready. I just have to pick out a fabric. I'm not sure what I want to do it on. Oh, speaking of fabric, this is on 36 count white clay from Fox and Rabbit. My favorite. Okay, so, my gosh, I got some. Here's going to be my new start tomorrow. Christine from Hollis Hand Creates every year she starts one of Paula's Plum Street samplers. What are they? Rhode Island samplers. This year she is starting, because I think she's done all the Rhode Islands that that Paula has designed so far. This year she is starting Liberty's Welcome. I have already done Liberty's Welcome. I should have brought it to show you. I will do that next time. But I am starting, I've had this forever, the Equality Sampler. I don't know why I keep calling it Equity. The Equality Sampler. I have all of my threads ready. It's a combination of DMC and Weeks. And I just have to decide if I'm going to do it on Fiber on a Whim Cafe au Lait 36 count, or I have this perfect piece of Dolly Madison from Needle and Flax. I'm leaning towards this one, but the floss looks good on both. I mean, so that'll be a decision I make tomorrow morning. Who knows? I might try one, not like it, and just use the other one. But that is the new start for tomorrow. That's planned. The planned start Tuesday, Niecy's birthday. Just trying to read the notes. Oh, guess what? The Carolyn Manning is called The Wonder of Wildflowers. Jeez, Lou. If only I had a brain. I wrote it down. Didn't read it. Sweet Mary. Okay. Great. Now we're going to do haul. And then I'm going to talk to you about an idea I had. Okay. I blame this totally on my friend. This has got nothing to do with cross stitch. Just this quilting or project bag making. Erin Elizabeth went to a quilt show. And then she sent us a photo. And then I bought the fabric. The Great Outdoors. Moda. I think that's what it's called. Yep, The Great Outdoors. Look at it. And then, of course, they have blue. Look at motorhome. And then they got the coordinating fabrics. I didn't get all the fabrics that they have, but look. I love it. I cannot wait to make some fabric bags. Look at this. How cute is this? All right, you got your raccoons, your moose, a grizzly, which I've never seen, and I'll like to keep it that way. A wolf. What else? A fox. I think that's about it. Oh, squirrel. They're so cute. This is the fabric, right? And then I got it in this colorway too. So that's going to be some keepers and project bags, and this is what happens. That was part of the haul, and I've got a few other things here that got sent. And then a little stitchy kindness. Oh my God, sorry. Okay. So, this may be a new start in June. Who knows? Anyway, Blackbird released something new. You know what happens. A little bit of spring coming to live with me. The third log cabin Christmas is the fox. Chart number 3. And then someone showed this, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen it. Peace on Earth. That'll be a late fall start, I think, unless I do Christmas in July. Who knows? And then Cottage Garden Samplings put out their peacock, which that looks like it's going to be fun. I did get some of the floss for that. And I also got some Lady Dots. I got some Licorice Rickrack and Union Pom Pom. And the only other thing I did get was some 14 count. I can't remember the shade. Let's see what it says. It is Sage Summer Khaki Ada. This is for Erin Elizabeth's Be Scorn You. So I have the chart, and I figure it's going to be my first Biscornu, and I wanted to follow the directions entirely correctly so that I did not mess them up. So that is whole. I did get some stitchy kindness from Miss Tammy Totten. She had gone to the library stitchers retreat and said she was trying to win. I had done a little gift baggy thing, and I had my floss drops in them, and she was trying to win it because she wanted my floss drops. So she messaged me, and I sent her some floss drops, and then she sent me some of her floss drops in return. They're beautiful. And this is her. How cute is that? Thank you, Tammy. And thank you for reaching out. Okay. All right. So I did have some questions. Trying to think. Do I have? What did I do with it? Okay. I had a question about the size hoop. I just had it here. The size hoop I use. Here we go. Okay. So, I am an Amazon affiliate, and I do link these in my Amazon shop. So I use Nerge hoops. These are a number 2. I don't know if you could see that there. Number 2 hoop. I use that is my favorite size. The Nerge number 2. It's 165 millimeters. I have used the bigger one, the next size up, and I've used the smaller one. But this is my favorite size. I think this gives you a nice area, but it's not hard to hang on to in your hand. If I use the bigger Nerge hoop, there's a huge truck coming up the road. Okay, if I use the bigger hoop, I tend to work with it in my Caves Creation stand. I'll put it in the clamp because I can't, I'm a delicate flower and my wrist gets fatigued. I don't know. So I did have a question about that. Somebody asked me how I handled the chart for American Sampler. So you got to do what works for you. So that's a multi-page chart. And when I have a paper chart like that, I will tend to, if something has a full border, I like to get the whole, at least the outline of the border done. So I have a landmark to work off of, and I could use that border to check if I'm in the right place when I start filling in other things in the design. Once I do the border, and the American Sampler did not really have a defined border. It only had at the top. So I would work one page at a time. That being said, if I'm in the middle of something like the roof and it goes from one page to another, I will get that second page out and work that entire object at the same time. So I might work across a couple of pages at a time. But that's just how I do it. Some people do a whole page and then move on. I don't. I kind of bounce around. I don't really, I'll bounce around and fill in the border, and then I'll fill in some elements. And if I get a little bored, I might move on to another part of the border and fill in another element. Like on Consider the Lilies, I've done the whole outline of the border. I haven't filled in the flowers, so I'm filling those in as I go along and doing motifs as I go along. And I might just work all over it. It kind of depends on the objects and where they lead. Like this area, which I refer to as the Flowers of Froglandia. You would think that would have been an easy thing to follow because I had done this whole part of the house. It wasn't. It just, there was something about it that kept throwing me off. And probably it's because it was over a page break. And when you have something this thin over a page break, for me, my eyes, it's a little bit more difficult to follow. But I will work over more than one page. So I hope that answers your question. You have to work the way that you feel comfortable, though. Don't let somebody else's strategy, be what you do just because they do it. So what else? I went over the Facebook group, the stuffing I used. If you want to know more about WIPCO, please check out Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She's the creator of it. There are other boards out there, like the Floss Boss and Cousins are doing a heifer board over in their Facebook group. You can go check that out. I know Missy and Kathy and the Boss Stitchers do a Boss Me. It's just a way of, it's like a stitching challenge. It's a stitching directive where you pick things that you want to work on. My WIPCO is geared around the bigger projects that I have that I want to get work done on. So I tend to put them on my board, and my goal is to work on those things 5 times. Now, whether that's 5 hours, 5 days, whatever, however it comes to be, that's what I do. That's my WIPCO board. Your board, your rules. Okay. What else? Oh, okay. The thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. All right, so I had this idea. 2 toll stitchers, Carol and Jen, they one of their, not this last Flosstube, but the Flosstube before, they ask a question and and the next Flosstube they give you the little synopsis of what their replies were. So they asked people about if they kit things up and how many things they got kitted up. I think that was the whole idea of it. So I was watching them, and then I got, I am not a big kitter. like, I will kit things up like right before I'm going to start them. Not to say I don't have this stuff for them. I just don't have it all together. Like, if I order a chart, I'll probably order the floss for it, but I put it all away. I log it on my Google Sheets, and then I put it away, and I don't take it out until I'm ready to start it because things happen. But I have 4 kits. I do have 4. One of them is, this was my Mother's Day gift, and it was one of our first camping trips after lockdown ended. We went out to Lancaster, and it was, we had been to one other cross-stitch store that was over in Pennsylvania, and it was closing, and I just hit it like the last week it was open. And we went on this trip, and I knew Stitches Unlimited was out there, and it was like goal. I wanted to go to that store. It was when things started opening up after, when the pandemic eased up, and so I kitted this up. What happened was, they cut me a piece of fabric, and the store on a Saturday, I think, is only open until like, I don't know, 2. We left the store, we went antiquing. I was sitting in the car waiting for my husband. I pulled out the fabric, and it was like this big. It wasn't big enough. So they were super sweet. I called them up, and I was like, I think you guys cut the wrong size fabric, and I'm really sorry, but I need a bigger fabric. So no problem. They cut it. I couldn't go back. It was too late. So I didn't start this. And then I didn't start this. And then I didn't start this. But I'm starting it now. So my idea was, after watching Carol and Jen talk about, how people had things kitted up, and some people were given funny answers, like, how many kits do you have, or how many things kitted up? People were like obscene amounts or something like that, or they didn't want to talk about it. Anyway, this has been kitted up since then. This is in Twined Hearts from the Scarlet House. I have everything. It's been in this bag. My question to you is, do you have something that's kitted up? I was thinking of doing a challenge, Stitch That Kit challenge. Pick one thing that you've kitted up and you've had kitted up for a while, and start it and turn it into a whip. What do you guys think? I mean, you want to join in on it? We'll do a hashtag, and it'll just be ongoing wherever it goes. But this is going to be a start for me before the end of this month, and we've got a week left. So this is going to be my Stitch That Kit challenge for now. So if you want to join in, let me know. Put it in the comments. Join the Facebook group. I'll put something over there. I just thought, what a great idea. They put that little thought into my head with, like, yeah, I've got 4 things kitted up. I've got an exclusive from the Homespun group from Whilst Iris Naps. What else do I have? I have a drawn thread that was kitted up when I went to the the stitch shop in Bristol, Pennsylvania, Ye Old Stitchery. I kitted up a Christmas stitch there. This one, and I think I have one more thing kitted up, which I don't even know if I'm going to do. But yeah, I don't kit up. I don't put everything. Oh yeah, Florence Mary Dickinson is kitted up. So there's those 4 things. I don't kit things up usually until I'm ready to start them. The only other thing is if I order a kit in an exclusive, then, it's already kitted up for you. So what do you think? Let me know. Stitch That Kit challenge. We can name it something else if you think there's a better name. Throw the ideas at me, but that's what I was thinking. So I think I covered it all. Those are my plans. I have those new starts, the Stitch That Kit challenge, we're planning a trip. Finally gonna get out in the camper. That's about it. Got stuff, you know, just regular spring stuff now that we've had so much rain and now things are blooming and oh my gosh, everything's so green and definitely, and the hot. I don't like the hot. I think it's supposed to be in the 70s. My perfect temperature is 75. So I don't acknowledge like that it should get hotter than that. And it does, I get super annoyed. It's a good thing I don't live in Florida. Or anywhere really. How do you guys deal with the heat? I know you have air conditioning, but it's just, no. All right, that's it. So leave me a comment. I really appreciate your comments. I don't get to answer all of them, but I do heart them and read them. If you have a question, I will try to answer it in the comments. If I don't, I will get it on my next Flosstube. My schedule is probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll try to do things, you know, try to be more organized. But yeah, it was a little over. I usually end up trying to do 2 Flosstubes a month. I made it just under the wire here. So, and then I have a campfire story. So if you don't want to stick around for that, I will see you next time. Stay happy, healthy, cool, and get some stitching in. And my campfire story. Okay, so what brought this to my head was the storm that we had on Thursday. So I'm originally from Long Island, New York, and we're used to, you know, hurricanes and whatever. You live on the coast, nasty nor'easters, whatever. When we moved here, we're a little bit further inland in New Jersey. So I really thought, oh, you know, we got that hurricane thing to worry about anymore. The first summer we were here, this is like 30 years ago. So, you know, you have to understand, like, you know, cell phones weren't that big a deal. You didn't have all those alerts. You didn't have, like, you know, big notifications from weather services and stuff like that. You got your weather from the news and you watch TV, the radio. So we went one day, it was July 4th weekend. So we went over to Pennsylvania. There were a couple of flea markets over there. And we watched these thunderstorms form and head towards our home. And we were like, man, those look pretty nasty. And we just, like, you know, did what we were doing. We went antiquing, we had lunch, we came back home over the top of our mountain. And there's a farm up there that's on a long lane. And they have, like, I want to say 5 or 7 telephone poles down their lane. Came up over that side where you could see their lane, and their poles were flattened, but they weren't like all one way. It was this way, this way, this way, this way. And I looked at my husband and I said, you know, if I didn't know any better, I'd feel like, was there like a tornado through here? And he's like, yeah, it was like really weird. And we came down across that part of the road, came down towards our road, started coming down our road, and you could see there was like a lot of branches down, a lot of leaves and debris in the road and stuff. Got to our house. Now, when we left that morning, it was beautiful and sunny. I had clothes on the line. My umbrella was up in the yard. You know, my husband has a garden, so there was corn in the garden. He like was growing a little patch of corn, knee high by the 4th of July, that kind of thing. And we had left, we have a big bay window, and we had left the casements open. And at the time we had a golden retriever. I just felt so bad. We got into the house. First off, the screens on my front bay window were blown into the house. They were completely open. There was about 1 inch of water in each of the front rooms on the floor by the windows. We got into the house. The dog was like a shaken mess. Went out to, you know, check things out in the yard because you could see things were blown. My clothesline was in the woods. It blew completely off because it's one end's connected to the house. The other end's connected to what used to be the big tree out there. That's gone now. The umbrella was inside out, and the corn was flattened in the garden. So that was the first, 4th of July. So a year later, now I'm pregnant with my second, and my husband, another beautiful sunny 4th of July, was going down South Jersey to meet a friend, and he left. Now, after that storm, he had said, a couple of things to me. He's like, like, you ever see hail, or you start seeing things get really violent outside, go downstairs, go and take the kids and the dog and go downstairs. Because we have a basement that's like, it has a cinder block coal room, and, it's pretty sturdy down there. So he leaves. It's beautiful, sunny. Starts getting dark out. Start hearing thunder. I'm like, all right. So I start, going around, shutting windows, and starts downpouring. Starts getting really dark out. Starts getting green out. And at the time we had a deck, and I was looking out the slider, and there's the deck, and then about 10-15 feet away from it we have a magnolia tree. The magnolia tree, the top of it started like twirling, and then it disappeared. I couldn't see it because that's how heavy the rain was. So I grabbed my little one, I took the dog, we went downstairs. All heck broke loose up here. It was just like flashes of light and banging around and things. I didn't even have time to go outside and like put chairs, take the umbrella down. And so we waited for a little bit, and things started settling down, and then the sun came out, and things got safe enough to come upstairs. So we came upstairs, and it looked like there was stuff everywhere. Another umbrella shot, right? There were sticks and leaves plastered to the front of the house. Thankfully, I had gotten the windows closed, so we didn't have that issue. So I waited a bit. Now, my husband didn't have a cell phone. This is 32 years ago. So I just called information. I got the number for the friend that he was meeting, and I figured I would give him a call, because when you came up our road, like right before our house, everything was fine. But then once you hit this part of the driveway, it was like stuff everywhere. So I figured I just wanted to let him know we were okay, and that, we had a nasty thunderstorm, and if, when he came home, I was, doing what I could to clean up. This is about a half hour after the storm passed. Beautiful, clear sky. I pick up the phone again to make the phone call to the friend, and I just hear this and see this bright light. I didn't hear like the big boom or anything until like a couple seconds later. This stray bolt of lightning came down, and it hit 7 trees in the backyard and blew them up. Like there was tops of trees and other trees, and I was so lucky. I mean, I know you don't go near your windows, you don't run water, you don't take a shower, you don't build appliances while there's a storm going on. But this was like a half hour after the storm. So, yeah, that happened. And so we lost the phone, we lost a fax, we lost the TV. Because, of course, I mean, the only thing that we had, like, surge protector was on the phone line, and it was a lightning arrestor. This is when you had phones with cords. So when they came to repair the phone line, the repairman was downstairs, and he took out the lightning arrestor. It was completely black. It did its job, but so that was, yeah. That one they said was straight line winds, and then this random bolt of lightning. But yeah, pretty wild storms. I know there's parts of the country that get a lot worse, but yeah, that's just our experience. We used to get a lot more severe storms than we get now. I shouldn't say that. Knock on everything. But yeah, you trade off. We traded off hurricanes for wild weather over here. I guess it has something to do with the mountains and stuff, but and they're little mountains. They're not anything big, but usually it's enough to break them up. What we had come through on Thursday morning, there were a lot of people south of us that had a lot of damage, and they still have no power, so I hope they're doing okay. Anyway, that's our storm campfire story, and hopefully we don't see too many of those, but I will see you in a couple weeks. Thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for subscribing, and I hope you get as much stitching as you want in. I will talk to you soon. Stitch away.